I can already tell that there's going to be some OCD activity tonight.
Yeah.
Because I'm already worried about the coffee, but I should worry about the coffee. That's not OCD.
No, that's common.
That's Jerry Lewis disease. I have Jerry Lewis.
That's just operating instructions for coffee.
Yeah, and I have unfunny Jerry Lewis syndrome.
Yeah.
Which means that...
Which means Jerry Lewis.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I never thought of it that way. But at least he tried to make it funny. He tried. I was like, oh, I've spilled it. Okay, this is like it's slipping already into a bit. First of all, I feel a little weird because is it warmer in here? I mean, should I take my...
I can adjust how warm it is.
Do you think I should take this thing off?
Last time I said no and it backfired, so I say yes.
Take it off?
Yes.
I think this serves me right. Something about my inner self is saying my plan is just not right about my approach because I wrote all these notes and I left them on the table at home.
Yeah. But at least you wrote them. So at some point they came through you and you'll recall them.
That's a nice way to look at it.
I mean, not you necessarily, but one normally would.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Will you cut that out?
No.
What is it? You know, if you had told me many years ago that I would end up being a guy who enjoys going wacky, hoo, hoo, ha, I'm way more comfortable without what seemed like an Eminem style jacket. Am I right about that?
A hoodie, if you will.
You know, the way you make it sound not as funny as my example of it. I just thought about, did I put my passports away? And I just remembered that I did put those passports away. Then I thought about it again. Then I said, assured myself, no, I remember. What did I miss?
That's okay. This has been another chapter of OCD Flashback.
Boom, boom, pow, pow, pow. All, you know what's in my head now? It's like, you know how I don't, that people
Hurting my dog? Now it's there.
Hurting my dog.
Yeah.
Lifting me soft.
I went in to get you coffee. I heard, Bark!
Killing me softly with his dog. No. What happened was the dog, I started to pet the... First of all...
the dog came at me.
No. I'm willing to say right now, it's my fault if there's any kind of follow-up. And that doesn't even comfort people, that I'm so apologetic.
Oh, like you'll pay the bet bill, you mean?
No, I mean, I'm not crazy. Look, possession is 9/10 of the law. Has that ever been used in a proper context?
I'm surprised that the Republicans didn't try to use that today.
Oh, my God. I gotta tell
Sorry, I didn't mean to take that left turn.
No, but I like when they show old Turley. Old Turley during the Clinton. He looks like a young devil. Literally, young devil. He's a devil. He's the devil. His whole life is based on his views about impeachment. So he works once every 30 years.
Right.
And he's always on the wrong side of everything. He was the Ken Starr. He wanted Clinton to be impeached. He loves Bill Barr.
He's a wrong side historian.
Yeah. But he quotes things. Well, as you know, Macy's and Thanksgiving and whatever the hell he's talking about, William Mason. And, it's like I don't even know that he's an actual scholar. What is George?
He's a Sklar brother, actually.
Well, what's George Washington? What is the deal? Is George Washington University supposed to be
It's real. It's legit.
Like,
it's not like Trump University, like another president's fake university.
Yeah, I knew that.
I've actually performed there.
Oh my God!
And it's legit.
Where is it?
In Washington, D.C.
Thank you, everybody. It doesn't have a reputation one way or the other as it doesn't matter. Who cares? The point is, this guy, doesn't matter where he graduated from, although there are certain places that if he graduated from, you could make assumptions.
I don't know that he graduated from there. That's just where he works, though, isn't it?
I don't know. I get so bored reading his credentials. But he's been arguing. He argues that he doesn't have a dog in this hunt. He goes a little too out of his way to tell you how he voted. It's like, you better hope he doesn't vote for you. Because if he votes for you, he's going to take you down the next whatever. That's how you know he hates you.
I don't have a dog in this pony show.
That's what he says. He claims. But he just happens to be always on the far right, on the Ken Starr side of the, he goes, if you show me a quid pro quo.
This isn't an impeachment. You know what was an impeachment? That one back in the 90s. Now that was an impeachment.
I'm angry. My wife is angry. And, believe it or not, my golden duper. And they're not known for being angry. Even he's angry. What the hell? How do people of America accept this inferior material?
I miss that.
Did you miss that?
I miss the golden duper.
This was first of all, they released his opening statement, which was the longest of the statements.
Yeah.
And he's trying to start off with this shtick.
I was kind of asleep through the first hour of it. I was listening down the radio.
You made the right choice. But he starts to end with this, like, we're all angry. I'm angry. My wife's angry. My kid. And you know how it's like a both sides sonata at the end? Even my dog is angry. And my dog is a dopa looper, golden stooper. Golden looper is a cockadoodle looper. Right. One of those types.
Known for their studied dispositions.
Right.
Okay.
And it's the worst. He's opening up this thing where he's defending a Nazi with his shtick.
It's like Mike Huckabee.
I don't think I would have preferred Mike Huckabee.
No.
No, I wouldn't.
No, you would not have. No one prefers Mike Huckabee or any of his family members.
65. That's a 65 degrees voice. Don't think that I'm doing what I normally do. I have taken.
What do you normally do? I don't think.
Here's what I do. Okay. You ready?
Sure.
Here's what I do that no one likes. You ready?
Yeah.
So how's things on your end of the table? What happened to you specifically?
Oh, it was too early for that. That wasn't going to happen. Yeah.
Oh, you weren't worried about that coming around the corner.
No.
But when that comes into my head, I'm going to say, hey, Andy, you don't need to share every horrible thought in your head. And why don't you just relax?
Because I know it's a trick. You aren't actually interested even if you say it.
No, well, I am interested, but I'm more panicked.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
I'm panicked.
Once you regroup, you're back.
So All
right, so I'm going to take a lead here. You just got back from the East Coast, your annual sojourn to the Union Hall gig, and your mother.
And this time.
And Philly as well, right?
So you have to imagine I was like, that's a lot. To me, it's a big tour.
2 nights?
Well, yeah, and also adding the it ended up being great.
Good.
But everything.
Don't bury the lead.
Well, nothing goofy happened.
Yeah.
It's just things happen on this trip that don't normally happen. Like I rented a car.
Yeah.
At Enterprise, and I'm not giving a shout out to Enterprise.
No.
But I never want to rent a car. I don't want to drive when I go to New York. But this year I took my mom up for Thanksgiving. Everything is different now. Thanksgiving's at my brother's house. My mom. It's everything.
Finish a sentence. Wait, you got to start finishing sentences. You're jumping off a little early.
Okay, I rented a car, right?
Okay.
So I rented a car. I've never rented a car before.
In New York?
In New York. My sister suggested it.
Because you have rented a car before.
I have rented a car before. I wouldn't tell you about it because there's nothing anybody can tell you about how to rent cars and the easiest way to get to airports and whether you'd say, I call you up, I go, Josh, this guy.
You gave me the genius insight that it takes extra time to return a car versus going straight to the airport.
Josh, am I supposed to take the waiver? Do you ever take the added insurance?
No.
I know, but it's tempting sometimes.
Sometimes if I feel like being really destructive.
Not destructive. It's more like, boy, if something does happen, I really don't want to have to worry about it. But your insurance company always says, don't take that. And yet, is your insurance person your friend?
No.
Not really. Okay, so I rented a car, and it was so close to me on Northern Boulevard, near my parents' home in Whitestone.
The rental car place?
The rental car place.
Yeah.
So they picked me up. The whole thing was just, I never have done something like that. But I can't even explain why it was. Like when I dropped the car back off at the end of the thing, I knew that they could give me a lift back home.
Yeah.
But I knew, what do you call a person who decides, I'm going to take, I was tired on time because I had to get back to the airport the same day. The 2 events the same day.
Right, I know.
For a 6 o'clock flight from JFK. We're not kidding around.
Did you just say 6 o'clock fight?
Well, have I told you I studied, took a Norm Cosby?
What?
Hello. So,
okay.
So When
So this was not an at the airport rental. This was an enterprise.
Exactly.
They pick you up at your home.
Yes.
Take you there, rent you the car.
Yeah, because I came
pat
in.
you on the head, send you on your way.
Because, and if you want, and to answer the question why, we came in at like 11 o'clock at night, so
Right.
it probably wasn't a good idea to rent. But it was my sister's idea because my sister, she couldn't make it to Thanksgiving. That's a whole long story. Everything's cool, but it was my job to drive Mom up, which made me feel like I was responsible.
Mom up to your brother's house on the island?
Not on the island now. His is up near Rye. It's Harrison, New York, which means nothing to you, I'm sure.
No, it's it's another place where money lives.
Well, it's not where Robert Petrie lives, but it is where Jerry has an apartment. Was Jerry the next door neighbor, though?
Yeah, Jerry, help her.
Oh, that joke won't work. Will people care? They don't even know the reference.
But it's not far from New Rochelle, right?
I don't think so, but I've never been to New Rochelle. Yeah, it's in that. New Rochelle is it in Connecticut? No, it's not far from New Rochelle, and parts north. But it's only about 20 minutes from my mom's house in Queens.
Okay.
So, but my mom is not 90. Have I mentioned my mom's 90?
Yeah, there's something wrong with her. I can't remember what it was.
I didn't mention it?
No, I don't recall.
Well, it's a condition.
Yeah? She has Edward G. Robinson, see?
Hey, Weasel. Hey, right. My mom's got Parkinson's, say. You said it was nothing but... I've been practicing this all day.
Did you watch it last week?
I missed it?
You missed it, yeah.
You said... I'm going to buy a laser disc.
Beautiful.
Can you?
Probably.
You said I was nothing but what? Did you watch it again?
I did not this time.
You can't do it.
Don't need to.
We are at the age... It's not even an age
thing. I can close my eyes and watch it.
Are you a millennial?
No, I'm a Gen X.
Ugh, that's like old.
Dude.
Bing! What generation were you writing about on Freaks and Geeks?
They were still, I think, earlier Gen Xers, really.
Not boomers, post-boomers.
Post-boomers.
Why am I talking about? I'm trying to convince myself it was about my age kids.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
No.
But it does explain that pool I like to go into a lot, which is the sense that I feel like what happened in my life is the most important things that happened. The 60s.
Right.
That was the most important thing.
Yeah.
Or some things, or some other stupid concept I have. And then that everybody experienced the 80s like I experienced the 80s. Everybody experienced the 90s. In other words, but I know it can't be true. But it's true with a range of 50 years, right?
Well, 63 years, probably, in your case.
Stop saying that. Didn't you get the message?
The worst thing about turning 50 is blinding time.
I fixed that already. No.
Okay, good.
I fixed it with, when you turn 50, I don't remember what happened because it's a long time ago. Bing, 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 ba-ding, baga-da-ka-da, boop-boop-doop, ba-doop, boop. They still don't know how I am. Who do I think I'm fooling with the age thing? Hi, I'm young.
Hi, I'm not on IMDb or Google.
Here's the best Here's the best what they can expect from me. Hey, like if I tried to change it. What if I had convinced people I was 20 years younger? You think they're looking for a 43-year-old Jew? Hey, I'm not 63. I'm 43. Funny? Funnier? What do you think it is? Is it the aging thing that people are scared of? Or do you think aging sells in real life?
I think there's never been a better time to be aging.
And why do you say that? Just to pull my chain?
Well, first of all, it's sort of ironic because there's never a time when you're not. and
aging is the new aging.
Right. And secondly, I think that there is, because the baby boom are now the oops, I broke my hip boom.
Oh, my God. I love that song. Isn't that oops, I broke my hip?
Boom.
Oops, I broke my hip.
Boom.
Da, 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 da. I broke my hip. My hip is broke. There goes my hip.
Bye.
I really do feel like that would be a good hip replacement thing.
Yeah.
Bow, 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 down, bow, bow. My hip replacement.
I'm
Get
told
Weird Al.
I do hip replacement hop. He's really puzzling over this.
Oh, instead of hip hop? I think it's good.
Wow.
I think it's good. Hip replacement hop.
Maybe if I did a Jeopardy theme timer after the end of the punchline.
Oh, hi. Who are you? Oh, for a long time, I thought they only made uncomfortable, sharp, barbed catheters that sting going in. That's what I thought.
All right. Thank God I watch TV.
Until lubricator catheter.
Right.
Lubricator.
Now I call, when I'm up there flying, I call them lube-to-lubes.
Look at this. I'm going to pull a gigantic thing out of that you've never seen before that can't help you. That can't help you. If you need a catheter, it won't help you. Why do you need to see that? It's scary to me.
I think it puts a face on it. Demystifies the long bag of pee.
I don't understand. You know what, though? There's a part of me that's like, that does
what happens when you land and you've got 4 long bags of pee with you?
I don't understand which side goes in.
I don't know when to stop inserting it.
I'm sure it's always funny for people. There's always people older than me. For a little time.
Less.
For a little time. It's like a classic. It's a classic duo. Not that. Well, you are close to death. What? So I woke up yesterday.
Doctor, how much time do I have left? I'd say about 10. 10 what? 10 weeks? 10 months? 9.
8. So, Josh, I woke up yesterday and oh, really? Well, let's, a round of applause, people. He woke up. Who had him not waking up in the pool?
There's an old screenwriting adage that you come into the scene as late as possible and get out as early as possible. So that's apropos. You don't start the story with "I woke up."
All right,
at least skipped a coffee.
Okay, so in other words, you go as late as. Are you talking about to be snappy paced?
Yes.
Or is it also to have less work to do?
No, it's not that.
It's always, why are you including an early... Yeah, I always think you need to go, hello, let me in the building. Bing, bang, bing, boom.
Right. You can just be coming in the door. You can be sitting already.
Cut to...
So, Mr. Kindler, I understand you were murdering last night.
Murdering? What do you mean? I certainly didn't kill that woman down by the...
I meant at Union Hall.
Oh, yes. You mean not murdering a woman who annoyed me. Not murdering a woman who I had paid
You're very fixated
for sex.
On dead women, Mr. Kindler.
What?
So how'd your show go?
Are you? What? I like that. I hope to end up really being remembered for some kind of interrogation room footage. Me.
Yeah. Are you being interrogated?
Well, someone's died.
Or are you
someone's died. It could be you. Let's think and say it's you.
Say I die. Okay, fine.
Let's say you died tomorrow.
Okay, it's a fantasy.
And I'm like...
I know it's a fantasy of yours.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Josh is dead? What happened? What am I doing? A bit? What happened? Josh is dead? I'm sure his wife is going to be happy to hear that. Who gets the... Hey.
The cop goes... I'm not buying your acting. I'm not C.J. Wallace.
Okay, tell me that Josh is dead.
Josh is, I'm afraid, your dear friend and superior, Josh, is dead.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Who's getting his outside baker or outside cooker?
Wow, you're blowing this.
No,
what, the outside baker?
Yeah, I mean, you're...
The pellet smoker?
It's called a pellet smoker?
Pellet smoker?
Okay, pellet. Right.
Barbecue, whatever you want to call it.
Are you telling me Josh is dead?
Yes.
I don't know if this is the right time, but who's getting his pellet smoker?
Joel Madison.
How about the sous vide material?
That's all yours.
And
I made sous vide turkey for Thanksgiving, by the way.
Oh, how did it go?
It went beautifully.
Now, well, you wouldn't tell... No, first of all... Has anything never not gone okay?
Cooking generally comes out pretty well for me. I've fucked up some baking in my time.
Right, but that's you have to bake a few. You have to break a few cakes to make a few eggs.
Yes, that's what they say.
It's my new stupid character. My new stupid character. Hey, what do you mean? So, how did you do the turkey? How did the date end?
With happy.
Did you sous vide
faces.
something? You sous vide something. Turkey breasts.
Yes.
And then did you also cook? Tell us if you cooked. Was the pellet smoker involved?
No, it was raining that day.
I saw it.
I smoked the turkey breast the following day. But I did 2 turkey breasts sous vide and then browned them when they were done, and they were delicious.
Oh, man.
I mean, to the extent that turkey gets delicious.
And I know is your standard stuffing that you claim is great. I don't know why I'm being confrontational.
I don't care.
But, did you stay away from romaine? I don't want any romaine for a while. Because romaine lettuce is poisoned every 3 weeks.
Yes. Johnny Dorito knows a thing or two. Vegetables will kill you.
Andy, I just wanted you to know I've got 2 bananas in my hotel. He did say that to me.
Yeah.
Andy. Someone got on me today thinking I was making fun. If I say someone has a racist drawl, what I say is that guy who's, I'm just a country lawyer. That guy, that one guy, Johnson, I think is his name. He's the ranking member of the Judiciary Committee. He's got the glasses. And I'm just a country lawyer. His drawl, he's playing his drawl for heighten his personality. Yes. That's what makes it a racist drawl. And then, So I know people I have nothing against people from the South. Look, I have a New York accent. It's like
you really don't.
I don't anymore. But when I grew up, I was like this. Is that better? Yeah, from New York. Hey, those fucking people from the South with the crazy accent. Woohoo! It's my first day in New York City. I'd like to get me some lemonade. Woohoo! Is that Josh Elvis Weinstein? Hi, Josh. I listened to the Thought Spiral.
I don't know him.
Hey! Oh, by the way, I met people who listened. I've met a few people back east, friends, who in the middle, not met them, but in conversation in a couple of different formats, they knew what was going on based on our show in the conversation. Like, I know, I listened to the show. I know. That's how much we're getting inside. Am I making any sense? We're getting inside people's lives.
Like you were trying to catch people up on your life, and they were like, yeah, I know.
No, it wasn't. They weren't annoyed with me. They were like...
Well, then they don't listen to the show.
Emilio Fox was there.
Love him.
It was great seeing him. Both shows at Union... Wait a second. Did we get through Turkey?
Yeah, it was good enough.
No, I don't think so.
You weren't showing sufficient interest for me to dive in. So let's go back to you. Union Hall.
Not with that attitude. Okay. Well, how's it going to make it? Well, thank you, Josh.
Let's not.
Let's go back with the East Coast. Well, I did see snow.
Nice.
And I drove to Philadelphia, which I thought was fun.
On the whole?
Well, I threw up on the way. I have thrown up many times now in the last couple of months from nervousness, I assume.
You sure now?
Or I'm dying.
Were you nervous at the times you threw up? I mean, like last time it was like you gorged on a bunch of Thai food.
Yeah, that was definitely I gorged, and yes, that had to go, right. And I was nervous about it. This was nerves.
Nerves from driving on the turnpike kind of thing?
Yeah, going to this gig, and just, I have a problem with these meal bars. I just don't like them. And
Stop eating them.
I know. I don't. I take them in case.
Right.
I just have to get rid of them. And if anybody wants them, write in to... They're not for individual sale, normally. But, I eat those things. I don't even know what they're called anymore.
Why? Don't eat them. Eat a banana.
Banana always... Well, you have to be condescending about it. Beep, beep, beep. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, banana, by the way, everyone agrees, and whether it's potassium, whether... The banana works. That's why you see your athletes eat them, your tennis players.
Right.
So that I should remember more often. So...
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think I'm nervous for various reasons. I think I'm nervous because my mom is 90.
Maybe there's like a rhyme that you can remind yourself, though. If I eat this little bar, I will throw up in the car.
Oh, well, I think you're right.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. I think I've got to.
You might have a whey allergy or something.
Well, also just crackers. If anything is gone wrong with me, I could live on saltines, and I lived on saltines and cup of soup for many years.
Wasn't that a Morgan Spurlock documentary?
You know, that's the difference between me and Morgan Spurlock. When I was in high school or junior high school, whenever I was eating those cup of soups every night, and these were instant cup of soups. We get 4 small cartons to the thing, not the big cup of soup, not the big bowl of soup.
Right. This was an envelope of soup.
That
became a cup of soup.
With white meat, with dried white meat that came to life as if you're seeing God for the first time. Okay, sorry about that. And I eat a lot of crackers.
And little noodles that look like they're the same as those rubber bands that people use for their braces.
Yeah, but they put you in the mind of chicken noodle soup.
Yes.
Which my mother made occasionally.
A soupçon of chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, yes. And I lived on it. For some reason, I was addicted to it.
Yeah.
It was very good. I don't know. It's not a good story. It's not an interesting story. But there is a story about how I'm sorry, I got distracted because there used to be a joke in my act years and years ago where cup of soup was the punchline. Let me hear it.
Now I was trying to remember what it was.
Oh, let's try.
It was about Hanukkah. You know, how we used to Hanukkah's not a big deal, but we used to try to make it seem better by saying we get presents every night for 8 nights.
Right.
But we didn't tell people there weren't good presents all the way through, Day 1 it would be like Atari, woohoo, but by day 6 it'd be like cup of soup. All right.
Even though I knew it was coming, I didn't know when it was coming. Yeah. Cup of soup.
It's a weird way to hear a joke. A key phrase.
Well, Atari, too, means nothing to me.
Yeah, well,
I'm just telling
you how the joke went back then.
What could you find on Atari?
Huh?
What was the stuff you played on Atari? Like War Invaders? Space Invaders. And that's
War Invaders, yes.
And that's like shooting. Is that like shooting things in space?
There was the Sears version of Atari, and they would have things like War Invaders.
Is that true?
Yes.
That's terrible that they did that. I thought Sears meant comfort, home, traditional values.
Off-brands.
That's true. Ken Moore's an off-brand? Beep, 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 boop, boop. Wanka, wanka. Don't be mad at me.
I'm not.
But what did we just?
I'm bemused.
But no, you could be mad at me because I'm all cured now. I had a thing put in. I walked by Jimmy O's, or not Jimmy O's, a thing like it. Today, I've walked a couple times and looked to see if the guy used to work. I know. I just feel like I'm going to get in there or sucked in there, and I'll never get out.
Into Jimmy O's?
I haven't been in there. Why? What's keeping me? Is a sale.
But you have clothes from the one on the west side, though, right?
I have. Well, it wasn't. I don't know if you're winding me up to a close.
But it's true, right?
I don't care that it's true. I don't want to be I had an older brother. I don't need you as a 20-year, I don't need a junior guy. You're going to play tricks on me. You're going to switch my thing with my thing at one point, right?
Yeah.
Last night, Andy drank his own urine.
I'm going to long sheet your bed.
Either long sheet your bed or drank my own urine, which between those two, I don't know if you have to choose.
Wow.
I would go long sheet your bed.
I'll get back to you.
Beep, beep. Oh, I had good food on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I watched all of the... Oh, I saw snow in New York.
By the way, everyone had good food on Thanksgiving.
Is that true?
Yeah. As a general.
In general?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was at my parents' house for 25 years. I never thought it was that good.
Yeah.
Sometimes the turkey was good, but some of the dishes inherently were frozen string beans and Campbell's onion soup. I liked it, but I didn't.
So it was good.
I didn't love it. No, I didn't love it. I think I tried to convince myself up till 12 or 13 that is the greatest meal of the year.
Well, it's hard to imagine. It's hard for me, honestly, to imagine your whole assembled family having fun at an appointed time. I can see you having fun, but I can't see you having fun like at an official fun time. Well, I can see too much pressure.
That's true.
To bear.
And I think we're going to have to do something about the, on the third floor where Susan and I stay, because there's no other place to stay. I mean, I'm not going to sleep with my mother. Again. I'm not going to sleep with my mother. Again.
You're not going to do that joke. Again.
Well, I tweeted that she told me, she just all of a sudden out of nowhere started telling me how, and she wasn't doing it to brag. She was just saying that she was very good looking. She had a great figure, and they called her legs LaWine. I mean, you see pictures about my mother. She looks like a movie star.
Yeah.
My father's
Throw
handsome
mama
too.
from the train. But
Is that the same as 8 double heads and a hoo-hoo?
no, it's not.
I had 3 good.
So Legs LaWine was her.
Legs LaWine
I hope
was
her
her
maiden
nickname.
name was LaWine.
She is.
Otherwise, it just makes no sense.
She had good legs, and her maiden name was LaWine.
There you go. Thank you.
Don't say that. That's my password for Atari. He's LaWine.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, am I done? Andy, are you done?
Are you okay?
Are you done acting out?
I was concerned, not scolded.
Well, I had 3 good shows. 2 good shows at Union
Out of
Hall.
5.
It's not bad. And 1 good show in Philadelphia. Everything was great. I had such a good time. I
Made
mean, I
money?
felt rusty.
Money was made too.
Yeah, I did. I made money on. Yes, I made good money. I made good money. Can't tell you. I mean, it's stupid. Why am I telling
You
you?
don't have to tell me how much.
I'll
was just
tell
saying
you.
that it went well.
It did go well.
Good.
And I don't want to say anything. But I don't know. There's something wrong with me because I all of a sudden think someone, as a Jewish person, I think someone's going to ask me what I paid for something, and then I'm going to be faced with saying it.
Yeah.
I got $30,000 for the 3 days.
You didn't. Though.
I saw on the plane. I saw the Fire Festival fraud.
Which one? Oh, you don't
The
know.
one Hulu, the Hulu one.
Okay. I saw the Netflix one.
Is the Netflix one made by the actual guy?
No, I thought the Hulu one was.
Oh, maybe I mixed it up. Maybe it was Netflix.
I don't know. Probably not.
But it was
Either way, it didn't go good.
no, and it was very enjoyable to see it.
There's very few disasters you can really feel like
Good about.
a nice Schadenfreude feeling throughout about. Just like you aren't rooting for anyone. You don't care about their comfort. I mean, if someone died, that's a whole different deal.
Yeah. Well, no.
But boy, a bunch of uncomfortable party seekers.
Well, people didn't get.
My God, that's a delight.
But a lot of people didn't get paid like poor laborers.
No, I think that sucks.
That's really bad. I'm not saying
They're the collateral damage, but that's not enough for me to shut down my joy of the other people's discomfort.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, I don't want to tip it, but he's like kind of a con man. The guy who put on the festival,
Right.
But the things that he did, I would never have fallen. I think I've fallen for influences from people, too much influence from people, but I can never fall
but
for.
if a guy can't spell fire, that's a warning sign.
Well, he couldn't spell one of the things he started with, which was magnesis or magnesis.
Yeah.
It was a fake word that he misspelled, even the word that he was going to spell.
Yeah.
And that's why he had some weird credit card. It was the Magnesis card. I mean,
Oh, right.
everything.
It was like a metal credit card or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, black. Have your own
metal.
black. What's that?
And metal.
Oh, is that what the platinum card is, or whatever the thing
No,
is?
but his thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, and then you get perks on it that nobody else is getting. Or not anybody else, but you're in with the in crowd. And the guy never had a real idea. He was a pyramid scheme guy, a primitive version of a con man pyramid scheme guy, because he keeps getting money and he had no real plan in mind. Everything was a scam. You get Knicks tickets. Who wants he once had everybody. He bought out every ticket for a show of Hamilton. He said he was going to buy out, and it's impossible to do that. Well, I guess it's not if you pay exorbitant prices and you buy everyone off the internet and you deliver it to the thing because you borrowed $5 million and you're using that money. I mean, that's the kind of thing you would do.
Right.
I mean, I like it.
Sure, you're wired for that kind of kiting.
So, and also I saw the 30 for 30 about the Bears.
What Bears?
85
The
Bears.
85 Bears?
And that was
The
really...
Super Bowl Shuffle Bears?
Super Bowl Shuffle?
Yes.
From Refrigerator Perry? I remember the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Well, then you didn't really see that documentary, did you?
I don't think they played up that they did all kinds of weird things like the arf, arf, arf or bears. They were barking.
They did a rap video called the Super Bowl Shuffle, which was like incredibly popular, hugely.
Can you remember how it went?
We're not here to cause a tussle. We're just here to do the Super Bowl Shuffle. My name is Fridge, and I'm big and fat. I don't want you. You may think I'm a bad rapper, but come tell me that.
Well, I tell you that it was great. That was really an amazing team that I had known. I remember them winning, but I wasn't anti them. But this really made you love that team, And also it was very sad because Buddy Ryan left. They won the one Super Bowl, and Buddy Ryan went to coach the Eagles,
right?
And they found out before the Super Bowl. And then they carried both Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka off the field, which had never happened before, hasn't happened since. That two people carry. So it was like, because the team was a perfect triumph of maybe the best defense there's ever been. I mean, I know I'm into the Kool-Aid of the 30 for 30.
Apparently so.
But it's not blowhardy. There's a very big difference.
You're watching the process.
No, this is blowhardy watching a movie.
This is blowhardy prepping for the next time he talks about the 85 Bears. You're refining your story.
But people were very interesting, like Mike Singletary, and all these people were really interesting in their relationship with Buddy Ryan.
Mike Singletary has weird eyes.
Right, he was scary eyes.
Yeah.
But their relationship with Buddy Ryan was like they couldn't put it into words how much they loved each other.
They could, and they rhymed. It was a Super Bowl Shuffle.
But the other thing was in 1980 when George Halas was going to fire Buddy. Well, Ditka and Buddy Ryan never got along. They hated each other's guts all the way through, and that's probably why Buddy Ryan left.
Ditka and Ryan, they may scuffle, but we'll still be here doing the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Folks, let me tell you something. I had my anecdote set up. It was a very nice anecdote. But anyway, the takeaways from it is that people are met. Ditka didn't give.
I'm Jim McMahon. I'm wearing a headband.
Walter Payton wasn't allowed to
score. They call me Sweetness, but I'm all mad because Fridge scored a TD and I didn't get to.
You know what's worse than I bet the original Super Bowl Shuffle isn't that good. But what's worse is your poor imitation of it, because you lack the.
Well, it's better than your poor imitation of an ESPN 30 for 30 documentary.
All right, well played. Well played. I've always wanted to say, "Well played, Joshua." It's
good
Hump Day.
Good team. They beat the Patriots, correct, in the Super Bowl?
Oh my God, they really beat them bad, and that made me so happy.
Right.
And to see those, I didn't even know who those. There were two different quarterbacks that were in that Super Bowl for New England. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Eason, somebody Eason.
I don't remember. It was before the Drew Bledsoe, was it? Before Tom Brady?
Yeah. And then the next year,
Doug Flutie, wasn't he around?
What happened was the next year, Jim McMahon got injured. He separated his shoulder, and he separated his shoulder because he got hit.
They got back together eventually, by the way.
I can't take it. You delivered it. You were looking like you were back. Your eyes are darting back and forth like a vaudevillian on acid. Vaudevillian on acid. Okay. I forgot now. What? I had something. What were we just saying?
He separated his shoulder, Jim McMahon, the next season.
Oh, right. And so they brought in, instead of letting Mike Tomczak and the other guy play, Ditka hot dogged it and brought in Doug Flutie, who and this is what they referred to him as in the movie, in the documentary. This is not the way I referred to him as. They brought in this midget. The midget. He can't even, and so they were so mad about this because they brought him in just for the Super Bowl, I think. And they were so mad about it because they were like, he can't even see over the offensive line. He can't do an audible. And they apparently were right in this case. I don't know if Flutie went on to win more Super Bowls, but I wouldn't have referred to him as a midget, and I wouldn't refer to anyone as a midget. No, so
he's a little person.
He's a little person. It is politically incorrect.
Well, I'm sure more than one of those teammates called him Doug Fruity, too.
He was a Heisman Award thing.
He was, I think, Boston.
Yeah. Well, is he taller than me, wasn't he? Who isn't?
Well, yeah.
I mean, let's not. That's damning with faint praise.
Yeah.
Boo, 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 boo.
It's like being the most talented new monkey.
There was only one iteration of the Monkees, though, right? There wasn't a big replacement in the Monkees.
Yeah, there was the new Monkees.
Oh, I missed that. Who was in those? Was that? Okay, let me guess.
Exactly.
I watched again. I hadn't watched it in so long. Is the scenes in Coming Back to America of Eddie Murphy as Coming to America
Okay.
of Eddie Murphy as the old Jewish man. If a man wants to call himself Muhammad Ali, well then, God damn it! It's so funny. It doesn't become any less funny, and it made me want to do this. I haven't seen that movie since it was in the movie theater.
Really?
Would you like to watch that movie as a homework assignment?
Not really. I saw it fairly recently, or enough of it fairly recently.
How does it hold up? Like, what is that Velvet holds up, right? With Arsenio Hall going, I call him Clay. I call him Clay.
Yeah, there's all sorts of funny stuff in it.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
You know, they're doing a sequel. I think a Netflix-based sequel film.
Oh, okay. Well, is something happening?
That should take some of the wind out of your
of course it does.
Nostalgia sales.
I mean, who was asking for that to happen? Arsenio Hall's grandson?
Arsenio Hall was... No, that's the original cast.
Really?
Yeah.
Now you're perking my schmoople.
Netflix gave Eddie Murphy a fucking cruise ship full of money.
I don't know. Look, I wish everybody luck, but I don't know about this. Give Adam Sandler $100 million. Give this one. At some point, that turns into real money. They're also buying things that they know are popular overseas.
Right.
Adam Sandler movies are apparently popular overseas, but I'm, of course, going by a New York Times Magazine article I read, which is kind of a bizarre article.
Yeah.
Did you read that?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, it's just basically, just seem to celebrate his ability to make these kind of movies that have done so well. And the person trying to reconcile that, the person writing it, trying to reconcile that with, does that mean he's compromising?
Is he secretly a genius, or is he
kind of like that, or is he staying?
Is the joke on us?
It's that he stays in his comfort zone.
Yeah,
and it's like the person was kind of a fan of his, and had been a fan of his, and it seemed like the person ended up a fan of his.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really shoot holes in someone who is wildly successful from their comfort zone. You know?
Yeah. The only thing I can say is it's like.
I mean, I can't endorse it as a audience member necessarily,
right?
But from a personal happiness of another human being standpoint, he's in his comfort zone, for God's sakes. Why would he be happy?
The thing is, the guy. It's like, you know, as I got further away from the David Crosby thing, I realized they absolutely should have addressed these issues, and that really is a missing. It's the more I didn't.
Did you see that David Crosby blocked Roger McGuinn today?
He did?
Yes.
Is Roger McGuinn?
Roger McGuinn, like I was wrong.
What
David
happened?
Crosby just blocked me.
Well, isn't Roger McGuinn kind of a weird? Isn't he like a right wing guy or no?
No, he's of the Birds.
I know he is, but I thought he has some weird political views.
He might.
Who knows?
I have no idea, but it's just funny.
Right.
That's his last laugh 50 years later.
He blocked me.
You kicked me out of the Birds 50 years later.
Oh, did he kick him out of the Birds?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Those guys, I'm beginning to think, all have their issues. But, about the deficiencies in the biography. Not the deficiencies. It's just that as time has gone along, I keep saying to myself, well, we didn't learn enough about. There should have been more exploring. If he, I think, instead of saying they won't talk to me, which he did say.
Who are we talking about? I'm sorry.
David Crosby's interview.
Okay.
Instead of them talking about just letting it stop at they won't talk to me, nobody will talk to me. That's like, it is frustrating that you don't learn anything more. Even if they didn't contact those people, they should have found out more. He should have talked more about it.
Right.
Said something. Well, what happened?
Right.
Because the alternative is that you're supposed, you do love him. I love him. I love his music, and you want to believe that because someone makes great music, there's something great about them. And I'm not saying there's something not great about them.
And I have separated myself from that belief many years ago, I guess. The great artist is a great person equation.
Yeah,
I've met a lot of great artists for whom their art is the sort of only redeeming quality about them. And I think to some extent, that's the conclusion David Crosby has come to about himself. Which, in some ways, is lazy, you know.
Well, yeah, because it could be a cop-out to just say, I'm only happy when I'm playing music.
Right.
But
well, I mean, he went one farther. He goes, that's the only thing I have to add, you know.
True. I think it's more like, absolutely, if they're brilliant artists, absolutely, it doesn't follow that they're great people.
Right.
But the idea,
or even necessarily interesting people,
right? But when someone like John Hyatt or people that I've seen many times in concert, where I feel like I kind of know about the way he expresses himself, or even someone like Randy Newman, who you kind of feel like, I'm saying, you hope that they're going to be.
You hope, yeah. But
that's all I'm saying.
You
hope they're going to be nice.
I know someone who was on Hyatt's crew who just said he was a huge asshole.
Well, I know he was when he used to be drunk.
Yeah.
And I know that's why, he had to make a big comeback. But the point is, I have met people who, like Chris Gaffney, who died, and he turned out to be a great, but we also met because we both liked comedy,
right?
So we kind of met as friends too. And in other words, I'm saying is,
people grow up too. I mean, there's a lot of people who've grown into lovely people by age 50 or whatever, who were unbearable at 20,
right? But also, what attracts
there's a lot of people who don't.
That's true. But what attracts you, to Bill, both attracted us to Bill Hicks was his comedy was like he was, and so. In his case, he was.
Well, no, his comedy was braver than he was in many ways. You know what I mean?
Right, but it was also him. That wasn't like he was a different person off stage that much.
No, I mean, I found him to be, certainly a much more vulnerable guy off stage.
True, because he had a famous cynical onstage demeanor. When I worked with him, that it was just so.
Yeah, I think he was different off stage than
I think I think I could talk myself up a storm about it. The point is, I'm trying to make some kind of point, what attracts you to people that you like. It is something about their essence that is conveyed in their music or their comedy or whatever.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that they're nice people, but it sometimes does connect in a way with you can connect. I sometimes think they are like that. Or maybe that's a complete misconception. I always think David Bowie is a pretty cool person.
Right. How about this?
Okay.
It's a case by case basis.
Thank you. And we'll be back. We'll be back after these messages. After these messages, Andy Kindler is again probably going to go off on some topic that he's got very little to say, but he certainly has a long time to say it.
Well, let's talk about this week's big news. You got yet another C.J. Wallace, Andy Kindler film partnership role as announced in Variety this week.
I can't. First of all, I think Variety announced it last time.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Why would
CJ is a friend of Variety?
Why are Variety? When I say what gives when I see something, my name of Rice is very exciting for me, and I'm very happy about it. You're going to be in it too, right?
I don't know.
Of course you are.
I don't know. I'm assuming so, because at one point he goes, "Of course you're in it," but I haven't heard.
He did say that.
But I haven't heard from him about it.
But he said that to both of us.
Because apparently he doesn't think I have human feelings of jealousy and insecurity.
Look. I'm not going to lie to you. I went on a 3-day. He took me on a 3-day cruise with his Australian investor.
Yeah.
To talk about a long-term strategy. I'm going to be lender brand. Then I'm going to be Jewy Jew. Well,
so that's very cool.
I think it is very cool, but I feel as if I'm afraid this is all going to go to my head. Someone asked me if
you can totally control it, Andy.
Someone asked me if our movie's going to go to Netflix or something. It's going to go to those places eventually, right? To Netflix, maybe?
Well, I mean, that's sort of a
given with things, right?
No. That's, I was going to say best case scenario.
Well, how could it hurt to have it available?
You don't get to decide.
What do you mean?
I mean, you don't choose what goes on Netflix. Netflix chooses what goes on Netflix.
Do you think I'm that deluded? Wait a second. Can I call them up?
But, usually what happens with movies is they have like a 3-month for sale window, like iTunes.
Right.
Like what happened to I Need You to Kill? There was like 3 months of that first window, which is 90 days usually, where it's for sale, and then it goes to any number of streaming services.
Which it's on now, right?
I Need You to Kill is on Amazon Prime, yeah.
Oh, okay. But it hasn't been on Netflix?
No.
Oh, okay. But it's always available on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
What do you think is going to happen eventually? You got your Amazon Prime, you got your Apple TV, you got your Lisa Kudrow, Lisa Roku TV.
Yeah.
You have dial-up still. People do dial-up. No, but don't you think it's going to be saturated? Like, are you going to have Disney? I know this is a pedestrian question, but something's got to give at some point, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, except for these are backed by huge companies who can afford to sink some money into them, What's just as likely to give is cable.
How do you mean?
I mean, I can have Hulu, Netflix, Disney, Criterion, and Hulu comes with all the live TV channels now.
It does?
If I get one more, then I'm paying probably $50 or $60 a month for streaming services.
And then you're going to get rid of everything else?
Get rid of cable. I'm not saying I'm doing this, but I'm saying that that's what people are doing.
Holy moly.
Like there is enough, you get enough of a package that these things, there is a place where these guys can coexist, and then cable is the one that suffers.
I'd like to tell people who are at home that Josh is holding up 5 fingers on one hand and 1 finger on the other hand. And he did it for a full 5 seconds. And it made it seem as if his argument contained 6 different ways he's getting stuff.
You know what you aren't?
What's that?
Fun to talk to sometimes.
Well, Josh, you know what, Josh? I hear you. Well, yeah, I think that's true. How am I going to argue with that? Oh, no, Josh. I got to tell you something. That's not what my wife says.
Really?
She says I'm always a delight.
She says I'm never fun.
Well, my wife, I've told you the biggest gripe recently is that I want more reactions from things that aren't funny.
Yeah.
And she is saying, say something funny to me, and I will laugh.
Does she ever shake you by the lapels?
Well,
demand it?
In a, without, and not directly, but you get the point.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to lie to you. I have issues. Maybe I should record a whole bunch of these, like, standard defense mechanisms.
Right.
Josh, we all have problems.
I know I'm terrible.
Josh, I know I'm terrible. You think I like it? No, Andy, we want you to do something. I know.
It's a given I'm starting down horror street.
I don't know where you were going with that, but it seemed very, very...
Back to you're not that fun to talk to.
What are your plans? Hey, Josh, what are your plans for the holidays? Hey, can you believe, are we planning anything? We really haven't missed a show yet, right?
We really haven't missed a show yet, no.
This is the closest we've come.
We've done clip shows and things like that.
This is the closest we've come. How many clip shows? 2, 3?
A couple, I think.
Oh, we did some live shows.
But we talked through them. They weren't.
Yeah.
There was fresh content.
There was nothing that I feel.
We haven't just gone, fuck it, put on a rerun yet.
No,
yet.
That's
I reserve the right. Yet.
No, you can't put a rerun on podcast world.
Yeah, that never happens.
Do they do that where they go, hey, tonight, and then Ira Glass says, hi, I'm Ira Glass. Don't get fooled by my.
They do that all the time.
Don't get fooled by the fact that it is December 4th. This is an old show.
Right.
Wait till we have enough in the bank where people will want to just take a break. No, but that's exciting. It's very exciting. Something's exciting.
Why do you ask, by the way?
I don't know, because the years, I feel, and another, that I do feel it's a short year, but then it could be the aging thing.
Yeah.
But it seems like Christmas came up faster, and then they say there's a shortage of trees, which you don't care about. Guess what I bought, Josh?
A plastic tree.
Cards.
Because you were afraid
cards.
of it. Did you really buy cards? Why'd you buy cards?
Because Susan and I wanted it.
Okay.
Mostly Susan, but I can't hang it on her because I really do love doing them, and it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
You'll probably get one.
I would fucking hope so.
Is that how you roll?
I'm going to ask what's wrong. Are you mad at me next time you don't send one?
I'm starting to think, is it going to be Sanders who's going to win? Who's going to be? Who's going to win now?
I don't know.
Someone white?
I don't know. It's a long time away.
Okay.
So much can change.
I almost went 65 degrees. This is the latest we've ever tried to record a show. So it better take to, it's gold. That I know. You know what I feel weird about? I feel weird about, on the plane, why do I tell these stories? Because they're true. I dropped my luggage and it hit a woman's arm.
Okay.
And, so it was a tragedy. It did. She was not hurt.
Yeah.
I apologized profusely to her.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to help another woman, and I realized you can't rush. That seems to be a message that I'm not always learning. So,
right.
in haste to have this lady have this thing in the area, I went to here. It came falling down, and then. So I thought about that for most of the. No, I think I let it go halfway through the flight. Okay. And now tonight, I feel that I did something wrong. I didn't do something wrong with Clyde. I started to rub Clyde, and Clyde went over on his stomach a little bit. But then when I continued to rub, and went right for the balls. No, then he seemed to be upset, and now I can't let it go. But what am I not letting go? How's that helping?
It's not helping.
Nothing's helping. It makes a great podcast.
It does.
And all I can think of is that one guy wrote in, why don't you talk more about your mental problems? That's how you know I'm never going to be a healthy person.
Right.
Do you still think about anything that happened earlier in your life that when you think about it, it still almost does feel like a raw... It doesn't feel that much of less of a blow in a way when you think about it.
No, I mean, everything's pretty processed at this point.
Yeah. I'm surprised at how when I think of certain things, I have to almost stop myself and go, you're really again? Like, for example, the major example is wondering why my friend Stuart didn't want to be my best friend after college. Yeah. How long can you think about that?
42
That's
years.
Right. That's right. Well, that part of that's just the OCD thing that you have to go, you have this, whatever you want to call it, disease.
Right.
And it's always going to be it's always going to be more than anybody else would do.
Right.
But it's just surprising to me that it still hasn't gone away. It's still like, there's like 1/99th of 1% of your mind that goes, if I had been slightly cooler, we would have been best friends.
Yeah.
So it's like nothing to do with reality.
Then you wouldn't have had me to fill the void.
That's true. But I don't think if he was filling the void so much as plugging the gap.
Really?
No, I'm very fortuitous. And I think God brought you into and when I say God, I mean nothing that you can pin me on, nothing you can pin it on.
Yeah.
But said the fate said we're going to be located near each other so that we can grow closer as friends. And what my final prediction is? The side-by-side house thing, like on Home, I don't know if it's like Home Improvement. I've seen it on.
Yeah.
And Grace
Fred and Barney situation.
Right, but doesn't Grace Under Fire also seem to have it outside of their house with the guy next door? And then in the 70s show is the same thing, where it's me and you in neighboring houses.
Right. That was different showrunners, but it was a Radford. Those were all on Radford Studios.
Well, I feel very blessed, and I've written a song about it, about me and you. You ready?
Yes.
Me and you, Josh, we got closer. Over years, we got closer. We weren't as close many years ago. Why? I was very self-absorbed, and why? All I thought about was myself, and why? I interpreted everything as being my fault, or being your fault, or being somebody's fault. That's all I have so far.
That's good. I could use a chorus.
Hey! Couldn't everything use even things that have a chorus? I always think, like even big wheels keep on burning.
Yeah.
After a while, you go, it needs another chorus or stop playing it.
Right.
Proud Mary keeps on burning. I don't really understand what that song's about. It's not. I think it's about nothing. It's a Three Dog Night song.
That's a Creedence Clearwater song.
Oh, that then was covered later on
by Cantina.
And we'll be back with
left a good job in the sea rolling. Working for the man every night and day.
The worst a cappella group. Ba boom, ba boom. It's Josh and the Weinsteins. I feel high. I'm not. I don't smoke pot. I'm not smoke pot anymore.
Yeah.
I certainly don't smoke pot anymore.
Oh.
You know what they call me? Tonight on The Defensive.
Yeah.
What? I didn't smoke pot. I'm not saying there's anything. Tonight on He's Defensive. On God, right after God Friended Me. Have you watched that?
No, we've talked about it then.
Okay, forget it then. Can we make like little things and then you put them in?
What does that mean?
I record it once, like Superman's, and then you just play it. We make episodes eventually of the same things over and over.
Here's Andy talking about his OCD again. There you go. There's
Is that like on a cart?
Cart number 2.
I don't have anything for our break today.
No, did you not record on the East Coast at all?
Oh.
Could you send?
Oh yeah, I'll send something. Yes, I can.
Could you send it tomorrow, though?
Absolutely, I promise I will.
Fantastic. Here's some fresh Andy Kindler comedy from the East Coast. From which shows you're going to send me? I think.
Hey, I hope you enjoy this from.
No, that's not how that gets.
It could be Philadelphia. I hope you enjoy this. This is from my show in Philadelphia at the Good Comedy Theater, or
Union Hall.
Hey.
Right. Oh, me too. With the bare back. You're trapping me with that. How can I not? Who wants my Jewish sweaty hand? Even my wife doesn't like it. I'm kidding. My wife doesn't like me for other reasons. I'm kidding. She's not here. She'll kill me if I do jokes like this. I'm kidding. I'm kidding is my new catchphrase. As a comedian, in all seriousness, it's Bobby Bittman's catchphrase. Some people know what I'm talking about. Candy Ellen Humphries. What are you still looking at your face? Every comic. I didn't do the Spooky bit. I didn't do the What's Up with Reindeers. I didn't do the you have a period. I have an exclamation point! I don't want to say I have a heavy period, but at the end of it, there's a bell. What can I do with these jokes, Katie? Be like a bell, like you're in school. Boom! Pretty good. You don't have to stay for the whole show, Katie. Seriously. You can book it out of here. I love her. She's from Canada, where people are funnier in general than us. They really are. Per capita. I have friends here. People say I don't have any friends that showed up. Is that for Elijah? I mean, what in God's name? Seriously, is it a joke? Is it a prank joke? No matter how well you do, Andy, and you won't do that well. You're always going to have an empty seat staring at you. There's always going to be room. You'll always go look out in the audience and someone has like their wallet on the thing, or their drink, or some cocaine, or something funnier. All right, everybody! I'm ready to do it now because I'm transferring my wallet to my back pocket, which you never do in New York. I told Katie Ellen. Katie Ellen, you should see her purse. She's got it's like a embroidered, come rob me now. With a million credit cards. You leave with one credit card when you leave your house in New York. I had a very New York, nothing I've said has been particularly funny, but I really like my style. You know what I mean? No, you don't know what I mean. Next year I'm going to be back in the Union Hall, the small room. All right, this doesn't work out. This is my home room, by the way. This is my home room. I love this room. Once a year, I come here and struggle to sell out the late show. And they say things aren't going well. Who says that? The voices in my head and the people at the thing. The people at the thing is one of my new favorite punchlines. This guy knows what I'm talking. Oh, I'm the bad guy. Someone here has been to the show 5 years. How many years? 5 years in a row, and says to me, "Oh, I'm the bad guy for coming to the show every year. I'm the bad guy." Only 4 people in the audience realize that is a line from my act. The rest of you are strangers to me. You're dead to me. Very New Yorky. So I had a New York experience. Well, first of all, I'm from Queens. Thank you. Whitestone in the house. Sounds so Flushing. When I was a kid, Gloria's Pizza now. There's wonderful Asian food of all types, and I have nothing new to say. I used to take the bagels and I would bring them frozen. I got Utopia Parkway bagels, you can get them frozen. Very happy with that. But they're not sliced. And you don't think I've been spending the last 3 days pondering that? Why did they stop slicing them? I was hoping tonight someone would say, if you know the answer to that, I came up with my own theories, but I'm not a bright man. I thought maybe when they pre-slice it, it ruins it. It can't be that. They like to know that someone's going to be bloodied. Because I'm the kind of person, if you don't slice that bagel and it's frozen, I am going to bloody myself. I don't care what the technique is. But then the other day, I had AD. I think it's ADHD. I can't remember. But my mother's microwave, and this is going to be hilarious and long, and it's going to end up with a screed about Parkinson's. Oh, she's the bad guy because she has Parkinson's? I pressed my mom's microwave, and that's not a euphemism. I'm doing incest jokes about it. That's not appropriate. My mom is way too old to joke about sleeping with her. Sure, when she was 50. She wore a nice, smart jumper. That's natural. I don't clothing.
And we're back.
And that was fantastic or terrible.
Or why did they hate me?
It could go.
Why would they punch me after that? Or can you believe I got 3 requests for encores?
I love your new closer. Stop with the hitting.
Let me tell you something that was funny to me that I did think was funny at Union Hall was Isabel Hagen opened up for one show and Katie Ellen Humphreys opened up for the other show. They're both extremely funny people.
Yeah.
And Isabel Hagen was a viola player who was went to Juilliard and was like excelled at Juilliard. And she was talking to this person in the audience, like it was just amazing that coincidence. You're talking to someone in the audience who also went to Juilliard and played viola. So it was like a weird thing that had never happened to her before.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, I got up and said, I can't believe these people, like I didn't know what the one woman was doing with her life, but Isabel was now, and she's very, very funny stand-up. Extremely funny stand-up, right? But so I said, well, I played violin for years, but I was terrible. And so then I went into comedy. So I said, but Isabel, I had to, but you? So it got a big laugh at the time, but just to joke, like, I sucked. That's why I didn't go further with it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I had a choice and, I turned down contracts.
Right.
And so, in a way, I would think of comedy as a cheapening down, but I know it's just for joke purposes because she's very funny. And I think being a viola player professionally is
tough gig.
It's a tough gig. But I think that her father's a jazz musician, so
I could have been a professional violinist if it wasn't for my massive limitations.
Yeah, me. The story that I would tell about being good when I started, it just after a while, there's no, there's no juice to it.
All right. Let's get into these questions.
I would like to hear some questions.
Let's go fast because I want to read some of November's emails too.
Okay, let's do it.
Because I'm feeling a little guilty. I'm a little behind on these.
Okay, I'll do it.
All right.
Let's go through it and do it positively.
Eric says, my wife, is visiting family in China for the next 3 weeks. What message can you guys surprise her with when she gets home? Ni hao ma.
Oh, what, is that something real?
Yeah, it's just hello.
Well, that's good. But she's in China, right?
Yes.
So when she gets back from China, is there a prank we can do? All of a sudden, who's the guy who's Xi? Is that the guy who's the head of the whole thing?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, she gets a message from Xi. I got nothing. Well, like a parade? How about a parade? But what kind of surprise would it be?
I don't know, like the 1 billionth customer.
I think, I'll tell you one thing.
Welcome home, from the guys at Thought Spiral.
You know what would be great? If you bought her a Thought Spiral T-shirt.
Yes, that would be a great surprise.
Coffee mug.
Yes.
Right. And not just one thing.
Right.
And not just two things.
Tell her you bought us coffee, too, on a monthly basis.
Boom. That's what your wife wants to hear.
Give the gift of giving back.
Surprise your wife with a buy me a cup of coffee monthly obligation.
We have to work on the copy.
Okay, we'll work on the copy, yeah. Not obligation. We're happy to do
Privilege.
It's a privilege.
Andrew Sweet says, when does the world tour kick off?
Of what?
That was it. That was your world tour.
Oh, I know.
Queens, Jersey. Boom.
Done for the year.
No, I'm sorry. Brooklyn, Philly is really what it was.
Brings Jersey. Brooklyn. Yeah, there's no, and don't think, the thing is, like, if you're a famous touring act, people are always thinking, what's he up to next? There's nobody missing me. I haven't seen Kindler on tour.
Yeah.
No one says that. Nobody. I'm not even like Loggins solo. The third.
That would have worked if you were Messina solo.
But
not even if I were Oates.
Right.
Yeah.
Oates. Not even if I was, let's just say I wasn't in Hall & Oates, I was their 5-year bass player. Because I know those bands had, and there was always Duck Dunn on the thing.
Not Duck Dunn.
That was Steely Dan, right?
No, with Hall & Oates, it was G. Smith and the guy from the Saturday Night Live band with the Abraham Lincoln mustache. Was that T-Bone?
T-Bone.
Wolk?
He played the bass?
Yeah.
Who's the one who made the big face? That was the guitarist.
That was G. Smith.
Meow.
Who was once married to Gilda Radner.
These are things I do know.
Yes.
There are many things I don't know, but that's a fact.
We're sorting through them week by week here on Thought Spiral.
And when we come back, yesterday was originally scrambled eggs.
Seth Dick III says, this is apropos of a tweet I did, which was, if you play Dark Side on the Moon during Wizard of Oz, it's really hard to hear Wizard of Oz. So Seth Dick III replied, in the 90s, TNT played Dark Side on secondary audio, and my buddy Rob and I got really high. I envisioned Howard Cosell as me and James Mason as Rob.
Oh, you know what? I'm listening. I'm so riveted to this email story.
Yeah.
I don't get that it's a setup for another impression thing. And I notice how you go right into you have a scarf on now.
Yeah.
You're ready to do it.
Yes, I do. Hello, Howard. We're here for another episode of Wizard of Oz.
So am I doing Howard?
I hope so.
Oh, this is Howard Cosell.
And you have to do it without your usual patter.
So, I'm here with James. I can't do impressions. Even when it's an impression I can do. I'm here with James Mason. Take it away from the Republic of Domingo. Take it away.
I said without your usual patter.
Oh.
Republic of Domingo is right in there with your normal bloat of shit.
So I do so let me get this straight, James Mason. Do I keep calling you James Mason?
If you must. Or sir.
I'm doing the Howard Cosell voice, but I'm not saying anything.
You say your name quite a bit, I've noticed.
This is Howard Cosell, and I'm here with Mr. James Mason.
Who are those little people singing?
I forgot. Is it the Beatles?
It's the Wizard of Oz, you jackass.
That's why I was never good at improv. I could never remember.
We're shutting down the program, Cosell.
Luck. I hate everything about impressions. Well, I guess I just hate mostly that I can't do them well.
Okay.
This is Howard Cosell.
Because if you hate impressions, you're not necessarily going to like this letters section of the show. For example, Benjamin Earhart says, I was wondering what it would be like if Huell Hauser visited the Western Front in 1916.
It was the Western Front, not the Eastern Front. Oh, it was all quiet. Okay, so who's visiting?
It was quiet until I showed up. Hi, everybody. I see you're fighting a war here.
My friend just got killed by a cannon.
Is that a cannon?
Or, sorry. What would be inappropriate?
No, cannon, that's fine. I don't want to tell you your business here.
It's not appropriate. Shh. Shut up.
I heard it's quiet here, but it's so much fun.
Shut up. You're going to get us.
It's like having these trenches are like having a fort.
You shut up, you idiot.
It's like being in a fort. It's super cool.
You're going to attract artillery fire.
Why does that guy's foot smell like that? Wow, that came close.
I'm dead because you yelled.
Well, I'll be moving on.
Shut up. You killed 3 of my...
That's okay. There's more guys down the line.
So that was where your foot was. So that's where your foot was. Hey, come on. We're back.
And we're back.
Oh, that was fun.
See, you love impressions.
No, I love that, though. You know what? I love you. That's what Martin and Lewis, deep down, they loved each other.
It's true. I just, if I was Dean and everyone was going, oh, Jerry's the best. Why is he carrying the baggage that is Dean? Why, if I kept hearing that, Jerry, look, he's the sexy one.
I think Dean was
He's the one carrying Dean. Why would I get tired of that too? Why even?
I knew Dean was better than he knew Dean himself was.
Right.
Dean was the best. People said I was the best. I think I could get his patter down.
Not tweet behind. Yes, you could.
I think I'm like
you're
him.
Closer
I'm closer to him because it intersects with Blowhardy. Let me tell you something, Josh. When I first started stand up,
Not Tweet Bahara says Andy's one-man show potential title. Would you like mustard on that? Okay, I'm working on it. In any case, I'll be in the front row. He says. He also says, Josh, serious question. Why was it important that Joel couldn't control when the movies would begin or end? Keep circulating the tapes. This is a Mystery Science Theater reference. And in the theme song, it's, keep in mind Joel can't control where the movies begin or end because he used those special parts to make his robot friends.
Wow.
Which I co-wrote.
What'd you say?
Which I co-wrote. I just had to throw in my time.
Oh, my God. Talk about Blowhardy.
No, come on. I need it's,
all of a sudden, Pavarotti came in. And is like talking about how he came up with the opera. Oh, my God. Is he still alive?
I don't know. Find out for yourself.
Okay. Go ahead.
With the nasty letters.
You keep going.
No, he's dead.
Oh, he is?
Pretty sure.
He deserves... I'm the edgy TJ guy. Fuck him. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean that one.
The reason he couldn't control it is because it's what we call in show business, in storytelling, a lock, which locks why your characters are locked in place. Because if they were bitching about the movies throughout the series, you would go, well, then stop watching the fucking movies.
Oh, they can't.
But if they can't control it, if these are obligatory movies, if they're part of the experiment by the evil scientists in this case, then it tells you, the viewer, that they're choiceless about this.
So what I'm
getting, therefore their negativity is situational rather than they're just being dicks.
That's interesting. And so this gets me to think that there are many Star Trek-y type of, or completists, or people who have a logic to the show.
Yes.
And are they obsessive about it or not necessarily?
There are many obsessive fans, sure. This wasn't the question of an obsessed fan.
Right.
But, oh yeah, absolutely. And what's funny is every single one of them knows more than me about the show.
Right.
Because I stopped watching after I left.
I'm not surprised about that because if you had watched it after you left, I think that would have been odd.
It would have been odd, yeah.
It would mean like, I don't like what happened, but I gotta keep up with it.
I gotta know. I would have said this. They missed it. I would have said,
why has God forsaken me?
I did. I did. Frank Conniff replaced me in my human role, and I would, when I was slipping by, if I saw those two guys, Trace and Frank, working, I would watch.
Right.
I would watch those guys because I thought they were funny.
What I'm trying to think of when Frank came and saw me at Acme when I got bumped down to middle, and nobody was laughing but him. Nobody.
I'm laughing at the fact that you got
bumped down the middle, and someone, maybe it was Maxine Lapidus.
Maxine Jeffries.
That's who it was.
Yes.
Came in to replace me.
Yeah.
And everyone was happy in the crowd, but when Frank left. So I wonder if that was like, would that have been 90? He would have still been up there doing that show in 93 maybe, or 92?
Yes, for sure.
So this just goes as I'm starting to piece together the Andy Kindler story. And when he left, what happened?
It kept going.
Really?
Yeah.
For how many more years?
5.
And who replaced him?
Eventually, Mary Jo Pehl came in.
So the plot changed, kind of.
The plot changed, kind of, yeah.
Right. Was this
when it went from Comedy Central to Sci-Fi Network too at one point?
Was the show, the concept of the show? Did it go? I'm just not going to ask too many more questions because I know I'll be annoying. But did the concept of the show spontaneously come up, or was it? This is the premise. We're locked into this, and this is where we are, and the evil scientists.
No, it all. I mean, the concept of the silhouettes watching this movie,
right,
was what was sort of in place. The fact that we were going to be telling jokes wall to wall developed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was always going to be. I mean, it was Joel's initial intention was like it was like a hosted movie on local TV.
Right.
But the host actually goes in and sits and watches the movie with you.
But he wasn't thinking about wisecracking?
He was thinking of some wisecracking,
right,
and some fun facts and just more casual, like what it would be like someone watching a movie with you. And then as we started to add jokes, what happened was we started to add more and more jokes, and then when you didn't have jokes, you started to feel the absence of jokes.
Yes, because
so it really, by the time we started doing it on national TV, we were doing like 4 jokes a minute was like our minimum.
Wow.
But then by the end it was like 8 jokes a minute because you were constantly like testing like how many you could get in without pulling the person out of because you want people to keep the thread of the movie alive.
Oh, the plot of the movie.
Yeah. Because otherwise it just gets boring and,
really stream of consciousness.
Yeah. So, so the art becomes like filling the air essentially.
Yeah. Wow. That's pretty amazing.
And then I think the mad scientist came aboard, I think after like 4 episodes. We wrote the theme song, which had, but his bosses didn't like him, so they shot him into space, which then like suggested the mad scientist, and then they became characters.
Was that a co-wrote song?
Well, yes, it was. It was.
But did you get credit for it?
Yeah, Joel and I wrote it.
Oh, you both wrote it?
Yeah.
You haven't. There's so many things I don't know about you, and a lot of it has to do with my own my narcissism. But I did not know that you co-wrote the theme song of the whole show.
Yes, although they changed the lyrics many times over the years, but
right.
I'm the ASCAP listed writer.
Well, congratulations. I mean, that's.
I also Charlie Erickson did the music for it, so I'm
Charlie
Erickson was his name.
Oh, okay.
And
do I know him?
I imagine no.
Oh, okay. Wow, this is exciting.
Oh.
I'll tell you why it's exciting because I actually asked questions that were based on my interest.
Yeah, that's a good. It's a good thread.
It really reminds me of that Dave Felt.
Sous Vide says, should we be concerned that it's almost Wednesday and you haven't asked for a Test Show 135 entry? If I hear this on the podcast, I'll know everything is okay. By the way, did James Mason ever meet Mason Reese?
So they go right from concern about us being dead or something.
No, but he met Mason Adams.
How do you know?
Mason, with a name like Smuckers.
Oh, right.
It has to be James Mason.
You know what? I really do think I'm starting to get concerned now that you will end up with a fire fraud type thing with the doing voices.
With a what?
Your fire fraud.
Fire fraud?
Yeah, because you would do like...
What's fire fraud? Oh, like burning down the house for insurance fraud, like?
I know, that's what they called the Fire Festival movie.
Oh, fire, okay.
What was the other one called? How to Make a Festival in 4 days.
Yeah. Shitty Weekend, it was called.
Oh, my God. I did get sick a couple of times, like, oh, my God, I saw myself in it. I would have not. I would have done way worse. I would have been the worst because I would have really kicked myself for going. How would I have ended up there? Well, this influencer guy told me it was good?
Right.
Or would I have been someone who said, Kendall Jenner says it was going to be big?
Right, yeah. It's hard to picture you there.
No, I couldn't have gone there. Oh, God. What a horrible thing.
But even if it was as talent, that would have been the greatest thing.
About the what?
As talent.
You mean if I went as a comic?
Yeah.
$10,000.
Because then you'd be worried that you weren't going to get paid and that you'd actually have to do a show the whole time.
To angry people in the lounge of the airport waiting to go back.
Fighting over bologna sandwiches. Fletcher Alexson says, Andy, I caught the early show at Union Hall a couple of nights ago. At 8 p.m., you still managed to turn a crowd into an unruly mob. Now to watch Norm Macdonald and Dennis Miller on Spade's show. Let's see how this goes.
Well, that got me. Well, thank you. That was I had a fun show, the early show especially, but now I'm interested in this Norm Macdonald thing in Spade. Have you seen Spade's new show?
I have not, no.
Yeah, we have to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming down, as I always say. All of a sudden I sound like a robot. I had fun. That was 2 good shows, I think.
Good.
I brought the cards out, I think, both shows.
Yeah. Did you drive to the Brooklyn show?
No.
In your rented car?
No. All I did was I took a lift both ways. Took a lift. So the thing that I was saying was, when I dropped off the rental car, I said to myself, I was agonizing over it.
Yeah.
Because I know that a free ride home is included in the package. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's major growth that I said, what made me feel less uneasy about it was I knew I was going to be tight on time. If they didn't have a thing right there ready to go, I was going to take a lift, right? Which I ended up doing.
Okay.
But could you imagine if I had gone the other way? I could see myself in another part of my life going, well, they're supposed to give you a lift back, and that's save you the $12 to $7. So it's major growth.
Would you have really, though?
No. I was always I was thrilled to find out that there was no ride there.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't want to even ask them at all. Okay. That's a whole other thing.
Right.
If you know they did pick me up, which they had to, I had no way to get there.
Right.
But what would you have done?
What would I have done?
On the drop-off thing. Would you have worried about getting back to your mother-in-law's house?
Because it's free?
Yes.
As opposed to going to the airport?
No. I went back to Queens, then the airport. I went back to Queens.
But the airport is Queens.
Well, $10. $10 back.
Okay.
And then we went to the airport an hour later.
No, I would have said, is there someone here to give me a ride right now?
Right.
And
so you would have
said, no, he'll be back in a half hour. I'd go, no problem, I'll get a lift.
Right. Like a normal human being. But I don't know why it's so weird to go back to where you grew up and do a thing that's a normal task that seemed overwhelming when I lived there. Everything was overwhelming to me about Queens and everything. This actual place, Enterprise, was like on the same street that my mom's house is on, but just way up by Northern Boulevard.
Yeah.
So I literally knew I could get there. It just reminded me of being a kid. And when I got there, I executed it all.
Hey, Mom, I'm going to ride my bike down to the rental car place.
And you know what she said to me?
Who gives a shit?
I can't talk. I got Parkinson's, see?
Mama.
Momo.
Mama.
Momo.
Mama.
Man, I went through a lot of ups and downs and just a letter. You really are good. Oh, you're good. Huh?
Yeah. Sethek III says, I'm sure you did, but society demands we tip both drivers when the restaurant goofs up, such as the DoorDash double delivery story from today's show, a.k.a. always tip your food delivery people and your Uber drivers, right, guys? So he's talking about last week when I got a second meal delivered because there was a screw-up.
You were supposed to tip on that.
I did, in fact, tip on that.
Yeah.
I tipped cash because there wasn't a way to tip.
But what's he saying?
I think he's just checking up on my etiquette.
Oh, yes.
But in fact, I did. I tipped cash for the guy.
That is important.
Who brought me the second meal I didn't want.
I've gotten angry a couple of times at the whole experience, but I hope to not ever get angry again.
I had one of those tonight where it was like I made the mistake of watching them drive here from the restaurant.
Oh, on your
and
little
they were
app?
just like, it was like, I think I had AC Cowlings as my driver. They were just so slow and making such bad driving choices.
Yeah, why are they going up that street?
Yes.
Was the food good?
It was okay.
All right, we got to give me some of the template.
David Schnotz says, after seeing Andy in Philly, I was introduced to and photographed by Susan. I wonder if anyone ever saw Phyllis Diller and had Fang take their picture. Do you have a favorite fictional comedy spouse?
Well, I don't call my wife Fang, that's for sure.
Yeah, not when she's at the show.
No, and I don't talk behind her back, but I do remember this happening.
What about your whole ball and chain chunk?
Look, I don't want to say my wife's a nag, but I checked. I don't want to say my wife's a nag, but we went to 23andMe and we found out she's 14% nag. I said a donkey. Nobody tell my wife about this bit. No, what's nag?
It's a horse.
Shut up. I don't know what anything is.
You shut up,
no,
wrong fuck.
Seriously, I don't know what anything is.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like that's a horse.
Yeah, it is, though.
You're telling me do horses normally say, why won't you take me to Florida?
Bet my money on a bobtail nag.
Somebody bet on the bay.
Yeah.
What's the bay mean?
Bay is another kind of horse.
Okay, you don't know. You make it like you know more than me, but you know this much more.
That's all it takes.
I know, but it's
baby.
sad. It's sad.
I'll take out just enough to beat you, as what
but I'm
Burl
flat
would
out
say.
stupid. I'm flat out stupid. You're supposed to bring more to the table.
Okay, challenge me.
Like a Jeopardy?
Yes. Who's your favorite comedy spouse?
I think Fang is the funniest to me.
The quintessential, really.
Well, also Edgar's not bad. Edgar, my husband Edgar.
But he wasn't fictional.
Oh,
Till he killed himself.
Barry Nykrug, who I started out with, did his mom a lot.
Yeah.
But
okay.
That was real too.
Yeah, okay.
Well, okay, I'll tell you who my favorite is. Tom Dreesen. He had a comedy spouse. He goes, the ex-wife. He goes, my ex-wife, or should I call her the plaintiff?
Larry Harold says, all I want for Christmas is for Andy to call Mr. Weinstein into his private suite and demand to know exactly why Mr. Weinstein thinks it's cute to do little impressions of famous actors around the office all day instead of actually getting some work done.
Mr. Weinstein, come in here immediately.
Yes, Mr. Kindler.
Mr. Weinstein, first of all, I hope that you're not enjoying Christmas this year, as was my instruction to your family, that there should be no more enjoying of the holidays.
Not a brr, not at all.
Mr. Weinstein, it has come to my attention that you are, during the workday, you're doing James Mason? Now, why do I sound like I'm doing James Mason? Why? What happened to me? I've lost my ability to do this character. I don't know. I feel like I can't sing anymore, I can't talk anymore, that.
Let's rent a 99-seater and black box workshop it.
Okay, that would be so good.
Okay.
Because wouldn't that sustain past 4 or 5 blackouts? Mr. Weinstein, come in here.
Seth Dick III says, my housekeeper's niece Ramona says she saw an old James Mason movie where he was the dean of a bus school, where Howard Cosell was an idealistic teacher. Does Ramona have a drug problem?
No, it does not seem that way. I think it's a real story.
Huh.
This is Howard Cosell. This is Howard Cosell, and I'm here with James Mason. How
did we become a team? It doesn't seem reasonable.
Well, what's sad to me, James, is I don't even remember the premise. I don't understand the premise. The premise is that James Mason and Howard Cosell. What's the premise, James?
Cosell, we're shutting down the bit.
We're stopping the bit. And I have to go because I have a gig at the Republic of Domingo with the fighter Tito Puentes. Okay, James. I want to be shot in the head.
Bilal Zafar says, ever done transcendental meditation or anything similar? Cheers.
I have done very little meditation, and I'd like to do more, and I'd like it to be something like transcendental. But
what he means to say is he's done absolutely no meditation and saying he does some meditation.
I've done some, but very little. Just shoot me. It's like a failed life. I'm interested in it. How about you? Are you interested? I'm interested in like mindfulness meditation.
Yeah.
And you've recommended it to me.
Yeah, well, it seems like you're the kind of person that it helps.
But you don't need to do it?
I should do it probably, but I don't.
I don't want to go to a way and here's
it's so boring.
As a Jew, I don't want to pay.
It's so boring, Andy.
Look, you know what? Now you're going to get letters, and we're going to lose listeners.
I
don't want to lose our listener.
Brian R. says, speaking of blowhardy, have you ever found yourself seated at a show, etc., near someone making wild assumptions and guesses about mundane aspects of the production he'd have no knowledge of? Happened to me this weekend at an MST live show. It was exhausting overhearing it.
So what happened?
As I said, there are, in fact, superfan.
So he goes to, what is an MST live show?
Mystery Science Theater.
But what does it mean, live?
It means people on a stage doing the thing.
Well, who is
Joel Hodgson and people we don't know.
Not like a new version of them, like a franchise like Blue Man Group?
It's that's kind of what he's pushing. Look, he's pushing that the format's bigger than the people, pretty much. So
he regroups as MST Live?
Well, they did the reboot on Netflix, and then he did a big tour with most of the Netflix cast.
Okay. And they're doing more on Netflix?
And now he's doing another tour where they didn't, but he's doing a long-ass tour, and it's Joel himself being, I think Jonah Ray was the host. Right. I think Jonah Ray was the host one time, and then Joel and Jonah did it the next year. And then now it's just Joel and a new cast for the road thing.
But not to make a new season.
Well, it's officially not It's officially not getting picked up on Netflix.
How many seasons did they do?
They did 2.
How many total episodes? Why am I asking you this?
Know.
What are you, an answer man?
I think they did 13 and 6.
Who cares? So it's done. So now we could do it. We could do a remake.
Yeah, exactly. Now's our time.
Wow. Are there people complaining, going, why did they only do 2 more years? Let's keep going.
Of course.
Or there's some people go, I told you, we should never have remade the original.
Well, that was just the original cast saying that.
People wonder why I'm still doing my same shtick.
Michael O'Connor says, quick movie suggestion. It's basically Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon conversing throughout a road trip, hence the title The Trip, filmed in 2011. I think it's a good watch and often very funny. I know it's on Prime. I think I saw it.
I saw the movie that was made from it, and it was very funny, but apparently the best way to watch it is in the individual episodes before they made that movie. I'd like to see it that way, The Trip.
All right.
So, yes, I've heard it's great. I'm a huge Coogan fan.
John Kovaleski, cartoonist, says, here's my own thought spiral. Today I was listening to an older episode where Andy mentioned his Aunt Bertha. That got me thinking about my Aunt Josie. And that got me thinking about the time James Mason sang the theme song to Josie and the Pussycats.
You know, you really fooled me with that. I thought you cared about me.
Yeah.
No.
Get over it.
Forget about it.
I don't remember this. I just remember Josie and the Pussycats. Josie and the Pussycats. Meow, 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 meow.
You know, in a way, there's something...
Josie, a bubble of poison in my loins.
There's something romantic about it, but there's something sad.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Boom, 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 boom.
Patented Phil says, what are your thoughts on malarkey? Is it the cat's pajamas, the bee's knees? Is it a pippin?
What is malarkey?
Malarkey is hogwash, horse feathers, bullshit.
Are you talking about it as a general thing or is it a show?
I think he's talking about it as Joe Biden's bus.
I hate everything about Joe Biden's whole thing.
Joe Biden live malarkey tour.
He's terrible. He's just terrible. It's not my fault. Who would say it's the come on, I mean business buster tour. I mean, what does it mean, malarkey?
It's a real,
he's full of malarkey or no more malarkey?
I think either way you can take it.
I don't know. First of all, the guy looks like he doesn't know why he does it.
Or it looks like a food truck selling malarkey. Although I have to say, I mean, at least, generationally, that's a word he's laying claim to. I think
that's great.
It's better than if he went like the Rad Buster,
Yeah, he's at least being honest to his own corny roots.
Right.
It's malarkey, buddy.
Biden is radical.
Well, he used to do this one. He used to say, my dad said, get up, Buster. That was his old thing. Get in there. If you get knocked down, get back up.
That was Obama's mother used to call him Buster in his story, too.
Well, that was the medical. You know what? I can't take it up.
His mother would wake him up early to do
this. You think I'm happy about this, Buster?
It's no fun for me either, Buster.
Yeah, that's not my favorite story. But here's the thing. The whole thing makes me sick. You make me sick. I blame you for the whole.
Wow. Why? I don't
joking.
even. What the hell? I don't. How could I make it up to you? Oh, my God.
You're the only thing I can rely on.
I feel horrible that I made you feel that way.
Beep, 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 beep.
Guy Incognito says, Frontline can be very invasive. I hear they once barged into a shoot for Talking Funny featuring Louis C.K., Chris Rock, Ricky Gervais, and Jerry Seinfeld. Wow, their cameras know no bounds. Tonight on Frontline, our cameras are left behind the scenes at a very historic summit of comedians. 4 voices of generations. Well, 3 and Ricky Gervais.
Is that Ricky Gervais? I'm rich. I'm wealthy.
3 comics will talk about their craft, and Ricky Gervais will ape them.
It just come to me easy, mate.
Only 3 people will leave the show financially viable.
Who's no longer working? Louis C.K. will make a disgraceful exit.
During a break, one of the comedians asked if they could masturbate in front of Frontline's cameras. That tape after the break.
I'm not laughing at the masturbation. I'm laughing at I'm laughing because of your character. I don't know who I'm defending against. There's nothing funny about what Louis did. And I'm talking about the shows.
Tonight, we wipe down our lenses and bring you Louis C.K. on Frontline.
He sells out in like 2 minutes. I don't know what that means. I don't even care.
Mo's Art says, La Douzi is Chinese for diarrhea. Literally means spicy stomach. I think there's comedy gold in there somewhere, but I leave it to you two, and let's say, I don't know, Huell Hauser to dig out.
Oh, my God.
How am I supposed to dig out Chinese diarrhea? It doesn't make sense to me.
Hauser, shut up. We're going to get the artillery.
What? It's spicy stomach.
Get out of this trench. It's been 40.
What?
The war was over in 1980. So this was all quiet on the Western Front. I'm sorry.
It's so quiet here. It's amazingly quiet. You'd think with a war going on there'd be some noise, but it seems alarmingly quiet here on the Western Front.
Now you're 10 minutes later. Hey, where is everybody? Are you getting this, Lou? Lou got killed by mortar. Did they have mortar?
Sure, okay. Sure. Oh. Greg Kelly says, today is Wednesday, Prince Spaghetti Day. Where would you go for a great plate of spaghetti?
Is Prince Spaghetti like a brand?
Yes.
And did they used to have Wednesday?
Yes. It's Prince Spaghetti Day was their commercial.
Oh, I don't remember it that well. Wow. I remember Ronzoni.
It is your era.
I should remember it, but...
You should.
Don't...
No, you should.
Don't pick at me.
Totally should.
Don't pick at me like that.
No, you're slipping.
What? Who are you? Are you Josh Weinstein?
No, I'm Huell Hauser.
And you said I was and Howard Cosell as the mean guy in the movie.
You once called me a warped, frustrated old man. Well, what are you but a warped, frustrated young man? Miserable little clerk crawling in here on your hands and knees. Nothing but a $500 equity in a life insurance policy. You're worth more dead than alive.
You have to do this, and we're going to do it, and we're going to play it back to back with Rich Little's Christmas Carol.
Okay.
Rich Little gets visited by 3 ghosts. Oh, one of them is Al Jolson.
That was a joke I made on Twitter yesterday when Trump was doing his press conference with Trudeau, And he was just going on and on. And I was like, I'm expecting him any second. Why don't you ask Al Jolson here a question? Claytor says, congratulations on the new film, Andy. Find Jelvis a nice part, but nothing too spicy. Are either of you? Yeah. Get me a part, Andy, for God's sake.
Have you been called Jelvis before?
He wrote J. Elvis, but
I like Jelvis.
Yeah, some people call me Jelvis. I don't mind it.
You don't mind as long as they don't call you late for dinner. That was a joke my father used to do.
I like Jelvis better than Jay.
Yeah, because that Jelvis conveys some of the savoir-faire that you have.
Exactly. Are either of you booking any gigs in Toronto in 2020? If not, please do. Also, I heard that James Mason used to introduce dancers at a nasty strip club. Thanks and much love.
Are you really interested in when we're appearing in Toronto, or is it James Mason at the nasty Canadian strip club that turned you on?
Welcome to the Peppermint Oyster, gentlemen. I'm glad you're here on a good night. Over on stage number 2.
It's nasty.
It's nasty Clarissa.
Why do you have to add the nasty element to it?
Because they said. A nasty strip club.
You can't agree to every...
The peppermint oyster. Come on.
That is disgusting. I tried to let it just sit there. Peppermint oyster. You're going to get us in trouble with misogynists. Or, not misogynists, but people
massage parlors. The Chris Lapaco says, I just saw a Minneapolis PD cop scream at a homeless guy for drinking in public. Where else is he supposed to drink? It's a good question.
All I could think of is how there's so many homeless people and we're not doing something right.
And in Minneapolis, there's so many publicly drunk people. Dude,
is that true?
Yes.
Why do you think there's more than ever?
Yeah, it's become a big party town.
Do you think it's because of Trump?
Sure.
Okay. I just don't want anybody to be homeless.
I don't either. You can stay here if you want, Andy.
Well, we both trivialized the topic.
Michelle,
it made me feel better.
Michelle
Weiscover, good to hear from you. I miss you every day.
I would like to point out that I've never asked you gentlemen to do an impression. I love them, but I just can't ask. Also, Josh, I love your song, 7 Steps Down. Thank you. Makes me long for my childhood and for my late mother. I sing it at home a lot. Just beautiful.
Come
nice. On. Who doesn't love Michelle Weiscover?
I love Michelle Weiscover, and also she really doesn't want... She's not just saying all that to say, and I wondered how much James Mason would be if he was during the Depression and he played extra read all about it newspaper salesman.
That's right. She's pure, people. She's pure.
It comes because she's a true mensch. Thank you. Or I don't know if a woman mensch is a mensch.
Right. Or a German woman mensch.
German woman. Germention. Don't Germention it. Thank you, Michelle.
She's an Ubermensch.
And I want right. Ubermensch.
Yeah. Oh. Yo,
Yoshi Yamamoto, Yoshi Yamamoto, Yoshi Yamamoto, moto, Yoshi Yamamoto, Yoshi Yamamoto, yo. I think that's the best intro we've ever done. It's not good, but it was great.
It might be better, yeah.
Yoshi Yamamoto. Yo. Here we go.
Andy, you wouldn't have had to give away all those books if you listened to me when I said stop buying all those copies of Triggered by Don Jr. I know it's a literary classic, but do you really need 7,000 copies?
You know, the thing is, the kid, I'm turned around on the kid now.
On Yoshi or Don?
On Jr.? Don Jr., I think he's got a lot of vim and vigor.
Yeah. And selling power.
Well,
the guy can open a book.
It's first of all, have you read the book, Josh?
Yes.
It's very good.
It is very good.
And when I see his father, I go, I wonder what makes his son tick.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
Hopefully the father is a block off the old chip.
I don't know if that was a joke.
Huh?
I don't know if that's an actual joke.
What do you mean?
You just said a block off the old chip.
Yeah.
But that's not a joke. It's not. How does that do a twist on chip off the old block?
Because usually the chip off the old block would be the son.
Oh, okay.
A reflection of the father.
Okay.
So if the father took after the son, it would be a block after
I knew
the
you
other
had
chip.
something. I just had to double check.
You piece of shit.
Fuck you.
By the way, Yoshi paid us a $15 snot tax on Buy Me a Coffee this week.
What does that mean, snot tax?
He was very snotty on last week's show, and so he paid a snot tax. So
That's
you,
very
Yoshi.
nice, Yoshi. I'm turning around. I'm maybe going to go Bernie.
He literally labeled it snot tax.
I might go Bernie.
You're not going Bernie.
I like Bernie. I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it.
I mean, your online behavior lines up, but...
He doesn't get into wars. Oh, well, the Bernie bros. I'm like a anti-Bernie bro, which makes me a Bernie bro.
Huh?
Oh.
Adam Nicollet says, I heard there was a recording of Gregory Peck, very upset. One of the characters he was playing took no care in hanging their Christmas stockings. Bobby, we need to talk.
What's the matter?
You've hung your stocking like a stupid Jew.
Hey, come on, that's not nice. You're really hurting Christmas there.
These were hung with no care. These stockings were hung with no care.
I'm a child. Let me enjoy my life.
St. Nicholas isn't coming. He hates you. You're a Jew. Good night.
That's not very... I'm sad, Father. And I hate the Jews. It had two effects on me. It made me sad and hate myself.
Mark Thompson says, have either of you ever been surprised by a book, album, movie, performance, or TV show that you thought for sure you weren't going to enjoy but ended up really liking?
Thought spiral. Beep, 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 boop. Yeah, I think that's happened. I can't think of anything now.
It's pretty much happened with almost every book, album, movie, performance, or TV show I've ever liked.
Is that true?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I pretty much go in expecting
not to like
a lot of the time.
Right. I say I go in expectantly sometimes.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I have like things that...
I never start a book expecting not to like it.
True. That's true.
But I will begrudgingly watch movies.
I've never read a book out of that I didn't know what it was I was getting into pretty much.
Right.
Even though I might still not have liked it. I was Nicholas Lettich, you made you see.
Yoshi Yamamoto says, did you see the Ricky Gervais Emmy commercial where he sprays champagne in a suit with his classic open mouth pose? He's so naughty.
It's really a terrible commercial.
Is it Emmys or is it Golden Globes?
Golden Globes, I believe. And it's so terrible because the people either pretend to get upset, either they're pretending to get upset or he really is spraying the set when he shouldn't be. Either way, it's horrible. It's like they go, stop it, you're ruining the thing. You ruined the camera or something like that.
Yeah.
And so it's like either he's an idiot or it's just arranged bad comedy. Thank you. Good night.
Lose-lose is the takeaway.
That's what I say. Andy Hitler says lose-lose.
Dana Schwartz says, I had to have a plumber visit a few weeks ago, and I naively bought most of what he said about the other things being on their last legs. But it happened a week before Josh issued his plumber warning, and I was unprepared. How about a new segment on homeowner tips?
Well, the thing is, get 3 estimates. I have no good homeowner tips. I'm always scared. You're always scared.
Yeah, stay scared is kind of
it's never a known quantity what's going to happen. But you can do things to avoid things, but you never know.
Although I do find it strange that Dana was willing to accept a worst case scenario. That's not like him.
That's sarcasm.
Or is it?
No, it's actually just lampooning more.
Joe says, love you guys. Enjoy your night. No questions.
Thank you, Joe. Kokatana?
Why, yes. Dan Wade says, hey, guys, don't have a question. Just get a creepily sycophantic thrill hearing my name read aloud. Enjoy the coffee.
I cut you off at the end there.
Enjoy the coffee. That's what was the end of it.
Who's that from?
Dan Wade.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-dum-bum. See?
Who?
You said the name. I said Dan Wade.
Dan Wade?
Was that Dan Wade?
I'm pretty sure it was Dan Wade. Let me go back
Dan
and look.
Wade.
Let's see.
Dan Wade. Wait, what? Dan Wade, what?
Yeah, sure enough, Dan Wade.
Dan Wade?
Yeah, Dan Wade.
Oh, it was from Dan Wade.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you one more thing about one of the one of the messages?
About Dan Wade?
Did you hear from Dan Wade?
Let's look a look. I'll look at my Dan Wade file.
Oh, yes, and let me know.
One sec. Adam Wade, Ben Wade, Charles Wade, Dan Wade. It's right here.
It's right there. Oh my God, I'm glad it's over the bit. I may not be over. I mean, if Dan Wade was involved, he wouldn't end it.
He would never end it.
$40, I can't get $35.
You know, what would Dan Wade say about ending the show right now?
Have you read the emails that you wanted to read?
No, there's no time.
That's the hell with it, right?
There's no time.
This is too long.
Next week we'll read November's emails.
Dan Wade would say, you want to know how Dan Wade would end the show?
How would Dan Wade end the show?
Well, I don't think he would say love Dan Wade.
I think he'd plug things first, wouldn't he?
He would say his name because that's what he gets off.
Dan Wade's a businessman. He would say things like, if you want to support the show, go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral.
That's what Dan Wade would say.
He would totally say that.
He would also say, instead of just a one-time thing, why don't you give him $100 a month?
There you go.
Crazy.
That Dan Wade thinks big.
You know what else Dan Wade says?
What does Dan Wade say?
Do you have Chunks? Have you listened to Chunks?
Dan Wade loves Chunks.
Who?
Dan Wade recommends Chunks to everybody.
Does?
I'm pretty sure it was Dan Wade.
Dan Wade likes Chunks.
Yes.
And Dan Wade would say, until next time,
I'm Dan Wade.